Hey, it's me, MLB! Here is the Top Delinquent, Chapter 16, and this one is titled, Showtime. Yo, listen, you said sharply. I'm doing my best here. Why do I need to be engaging in more after-school activities? You added, scowling as you crossed your arms across your chest. Yin, I will not tolerate this behaviour. I will need to contact your parents if you... Okay, you said quickly, anger turning to fear. Okay, I'll do it. Are we done here? Mrs. Craig looked across at Iida, who had been watching you this whole time, and called his attention to herself. Iida? She asked. Is this arrangement okay with you? Yes, Principal Craig, yes, Iida said loudly as he stood up abruptly and bowed respectfully. You scowled and got up, turning and making your way stiffly to the door as Iida turned and made quickly after you. Yin, please wait a moment, he called as he dashed out the door after you. Principal Craig sighed and reached for the desk papers, shuffling them and then standing them up and tapping them lightly on the desk to set them straight before she laid them down again. So, Bethany the receptionist asked slyly as she entered the room shortly after you and Iida had left. Mrs. Craig looked up at her and a giant smirk overtook her face. My ship just might sail, she said with a cheeky glint in her eye. I knew it! Hot diggity in a bag of chips! Bethany said as she did an awkward hip swing, which was much too lively for her age. No, Bethany, Principal Craig deadpanned, face palming at her receptionist's failed attempt at trying to be cool. That doesn't even make sense. Yin, Iida called, reaching out and grabbing your arm to get you to stop as he caught up. What? You yelped as you spun around, yanking your arm from his. Don't touch me. I can't help but notice that you do not wish for your parents to know anything about what happens at school, Iida said as his keen eyes studied your face. If there is anything I can do. I'm fine, you said quickly. I need to get home now. I'm going to see my favourite band on the weekend with DF, so I need to be on my best behaviour or whatever, you said dismissively as you turned and walked off. See ya. Iida watched you go. He really wanted to say something, anything to spend more time with you, but he also didn't want to get in your way. It's not like I don't want to spend time with Iida, but the earlier I get home, the less likely Dad's going to be there and I can avoid getting my ass beaten, you thought as you quickly headed for the locker, then home. That afternoon you snuck into the house. Your dad's car was in the driveway as you arrived, and you could smell the sharp, stale smell of alcohol wafting from his car as you passed it. Oh, please may he be asleep, you prayed with worriedly knitted brows as you slowly and quietly opened the front door and slipped inside. You were an expert at getting up the stairs silently, so you picked your route and tiptoed up the wooden steps, making sure to skip the 5th step entirely because it squeaked like a friggin' 10,000-pound mouse and would definitely give you away. Triumphantly, you pumped your fists as you made it up without any noise and silently walked to your room. Booyah! If I've nailed this, then it means the weekend is going to be amazing, you thought with a soft smile as you entered your room and went to the bed for the night. You woke up the next morning to your phone ringing and groggily picked it up, wondering who the hell would be calling so early. It was 11 a.m. Yo, you rasped into the receiver, your morning voice muted slightly by the fact that you had your face shoved into your pillow. I motherfucking blast! DF screamed from the other end of the phone. You did? You yelled with excitement as you yanked your head straight up from your pillow. Oh my god, yes! Let's go, members of Agency Yin and Co! She yelled with a laugh. I'm pretty sure that's not how it goes, but I like your version, you chuckled, stretching and rolling onto your back as you smiled up at the ceiling. So it's a go for tonight then? You bet your pretty little face it is, she replied excitedly. I'll meet you there. You got the tickets, yeah? Yeah, babe, locked and loaded, you said as you sat up. What are you wearing? Band top and jeans, she replied. I'll do the same then, you mused as you hopped off the bed and walked to your closet, phone still to the ear. I'm pumped, hey? It's going to be mad fun. Same here. I'll see you tonight. Yeah, babes, later, you said, and then you hung up and started shifting through your clothes. Oh my god, DF squealed as you approached her outside the stands of the concert later that night. You look so freaking hot. Think I'll catch the lead singer's eye? You asked cheekily. Could totally flash him. That would get his attention. DF cackled. I would pay to see that, she replied as she grabbed your wrist and dragged you towards the show entry. After showing your tickets and getting stamps on your hands, you entered and made your way towards the front where the stage was. Are we going to the mosh pit? DF asked. Do we want to die? You replied. Nah, not today, she replied with a chuckle, picking a different spot to walk to. Oi! DF! Yin! a voice called over the cacophony of voices in the auditorium. You and DF stopped and looked to see who had called, and your heart sank slightly when you saw the best friend of your ex-boyfriend waving from a distance. You and DH hadn't spoken since the day that he and Iida had had the fight, and you had dumped him, but he wouldn't have been able to have spoken with you anyway since you'd blocked him on your phone. "Hey!" DF called to him, waving happily as he approached you both. "Hey, Ian," he said with a smirk as he walked over. "Yeah, hi," you replied bluntly, crossing your arms across your chest and scowling slightly. "Oh, don't worry, babe. DH isn't here," he said casually, reading your concerned look like a book. "Yeah, thanks, Captain Obvious, I can see that," you replied sarcastically. His best friend stiffened slightly, but didn't say anything as he turned his attention to DF. "Fancy seeing you both here. We should totally hang out after the show's done," he said. "Oh, that does not look like it's going to work out well. There ends Chapter 16. Stay tuned for Chapter 17 coming tomorrow,"